Alright, we're here with Tony. Going to look mainly at his deadlift and his initial pull. So he gets set up on the bar, maybe a little bit low with his hips and a little bit loose on this upper back angle. I'd like to see that just a little bit more arched. As you can see, he kind of bumps out there. He's a little bit loose in that lower back. So he could maybe raise his hips up just a little bit higher and get a little bit tighter arch in his back. You'll see as he raises up, he actually finds that position a little bit better before he actually lifts it off the ground. So as he goes to start getting it up off the ground, we're going to see his hips fire really, really hard. And as he gets to his knee, he's almost completely horizontal with this torso angle. It still doesn't have that quite that arch that we're looking for. So we're definitely going to want to see more of an angle like this with that torso flexed into the legs a little bit more here. So he's just a little bit forward, and you can see that barbell is getting out away from his body. He's going to have a heck of a time pulling this one back in. So he does actually start pulling the barbell back in, but now you can see he's at the hang, and his weight is all forward. So he's got to get that torso around obnoxiously far if he wants to get back into this back extended position here, because that's about where the barbell needs to go. It's about right here. So you're going to see he's going to start falling forward here in a second, and as that weight transfers, it's going up onto his toes already, but he's actually not even close to extension. So as he starts to extend, see how he's falling forward, and now he's actually has to rush to extension before he gets to where he needs to be, and that's about that max extension that we reach is straight up and down. So if we look at that and we're straight up and down here, the best the barbell path could go would be like kind of out around his head in this kind of a region, and he'd have to be pulling pretty much all arms. But as you see, it keeps kicking out, 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 out. So he's got to do a hell of a chase job to even get underneath this guy. And as you can see, it's just too far forward for him to save. He actually ends up jumping forward in a pretty good position. It's just too much weight moving too far forward. So if we take this back to the beginning now and watch it kind of in slow motion. So as he goes down into the squat position, we'll look at his center of balance and where that bar should be for the overhead squat. So that's about where we would want that. If he was in an ass to grass overhead squat, kind of right over top of his heels here. Alright, so as we go through this, we'll kind of watch where that barbell actually ends up. So you can see kind of how much further he gets. I actually have to move the camera a little bit forward to stay with him here. But you can see we missed that spot by quite a bit. We're just too far forward. He's got to get more extension on the bar, and all that starts with that deadlift setup position. So as he's coming in, I'd like to see him really just kind of flex his back a little bit harder here and drop to about there. So if that's something that he can really work on, and if he tightens that up, then as soon as he comes off the floor, he won't be as far forward. If he's not as far forward, he doesn't kind of sling that barbell.